please check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay. Realize what you're putting into your mind, what you're putting into your body and your heart space, and understand that what you're doing is good. What you're doing is amazing. Hey, sweet mama. Welcome back to another episode of Mom in Process. As always, I'm your host and creator, Amy Cawthorn. Happy freaking Monday. As I've said in the past, I love Mondays. It's the perfect opportunity to set some intentions for the week, to have kind of a reset and just do that work, that reflective work, on just what we can improve on and what we can do just a little bit better on, just that 1% growth, that 1% change, that 1% improvement. And today's episode, what I want to talk about is scrolling. Oh my gosh, social media. I feel like this topic comes up so much, and it is something that I want to address today. I had a really incredible conversation with Anik Cockcroft, who you guys have probably heard on the podcast. She's the creator and founder of Mama Mindset. We had a beautiful conversation a while back on just the journeys that we both have been on in wanting to support and help other moms, and the fact that I named the podcast Mama Mindset and I had to change it, and the journey continues. So we had this really, really beautiful conversation, and believe it or not, all of these women and men, all of these people that I have come on the podcast, I do my best to stay in touch with and actually connect with and continue to connect with and follow. And so Anik and I were chatting the other day, and she had mentioned something, and the way she worded it just really made me pause and stop and think. And it was about connecting on social media, and when we're scrolling to connect versus scrolling to compare. And she had found herself in the situation of growing her business and supporting other women, that she was scrolling to compare. And boy, howdy, did that hit home for me. I don't know where boy howdy came in. Do I say that on the podcast a lot? Boy howdy. I just realized that is kind of a goofy thing to say, but it really, really did hit home for me, because I do often find myself in these situations where I'm scrolling to compare and I'm not scrolling to connect. And it tends to be really toxic. And a lot of the times I can recognize that and pull myself out of it, but a lot of times we don't. And a lot of times these feelings of comparison don't come up until later, maybe later in the week or a month from now, or, well, I saw so-and-so's husband do this, and why doesn't my husband do that? This has literally come up in my marriage, by the way, at different times. And I have to stop and I have to remember, well, who am I comparing our relationship to? Who am I comparing this community to? Who am I comparing myself as a mother, as a wife, an individual to? Where are these feelings of inadequacy coming from? And a lot of the times it's because we're comparing ourselves to other people. Now, before social media, you would only compare yourself probably within your immediate social group or this bubble that you had. Now we're comparing ourselves to hundreds of thousands of other individuals. One of the biggest things that I find myself in a comparison situation with is homesteaders. And I'm not even a homesteader. People that have ranches and farms and these huge elaborate gardens. And I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not canning enough. I'm not preserving enough. I don't have a good enough garden. My yard isn't pretty enough. Why don't we have cows? I should be milking my own cows. I should be making my own cheese. I should be sewing my own clothes. I should be doing all of these other things. And it's like, holy shit, Amy, like you are not a homesteader. Okay. You don't really have an opportunity to do that with your life, your property, my husband's job. Like we can't. I would be doing that all by myself, and that's just not realistic. So I'm comparing myself to these other people and their beautiful Instagram pages or Pinterest posts or whatever. I'm not really on Pinterest as much anymore, but it's not realistic. And social media can be a beautiful place to connect, to have community, to really find bonds and relationships, and to help support you in your journey through motherhood and in your journey in life. But the problem arises when we start to scroll for comparison. And that's what Anique was sharing with me, was that in her business, as she's growing and leaning into things that feel good for her in her life and fit her lifestyle, fit her, her family dynamic, where they live, the amount of effort she can put into growing her own community and her business, those are all things that she's trying to lean into individually. But then we get caught up in this social media comparison. We start scrolling to compare our productivity, our output, our effort, what it looks like, how many people are following. We start comparing ourselves to others instead of focusing on connecting with and cultivating the relationships that we already have. And trust me, from a business standpoint, also, if any of you mamas are trying to run a business from your home, or, a lot of moms run MLMs and sales type businesses, and you start to compare yourself to the reels that the other mom is putting on Instagram, or the amount of content that they have on Facebook, or the amount of feedback they're getting and participation that they're getting in whatever groups they have. And that's not what it should be about. It should be about connecting with those that you've already had join your group, join your movement, join your business, participate in the things that you're trying to sell or share or grow or talk about, because you're trying to make a difference in the world in your own individual way, in your own unique way. And you can't do that if you're being limited from the comparisons that you're starting to do based on your scrolling of other people. It's just going to stifle the individual you. It's going to stifle your personality, your effort, your impact, your growth, all of it, because we need you to be you. And this goes back to even as a stay-at-home mom. Your children need you. Gracie, Olivia, and Lily, they don't need the homesteading mom that I follow on Instagram, or Anique that I follow on Instagram, who lives in Hawaii and has this beautiful life, right? But that's what I see on Instagram. She has her struggles. She has her trials, her tribulations. Homestead moms, they have their struggles. They have their trials and tribulations, but they're sharing what is valuable to their own community and inspiring those in their own way. And I'm taking that, and this is not their fault. This is mine as an individual. I'm taking that and it's making me feel inadequate instead of saying, good for them. Slow clap, right? Good for them. I celebrate you. You're amazing. I'm not going to do that, and that's okay. And move on. My children don't need me to be these other individual women, and your children don't need you to be anybody else in this world, anybody else but you. And we really get caught up with these feelings of inadequacy and these feelings of mom guilt that we aren't good enough when we start scrolling to compare instead of scrolling to connect. So I really encourage you this week, as you go through the week and you use social media as a tool instead of an escape or a toy, and really try and connect with those that you have on there. If you're on Facebook and you see your sister-in-law posting about your nieces and nephews, comment, celebrate it. If you're on Instagram and you see a high school friend that just got a job promotion, like it, message them, congratulate them. I'm so happy for you. That's great. Output love and connection without comparison, without feeling like you aren't good enough because you're a stay-at-home mom and you never get promotions and you'll never have an opportunity for a raise. Okay. That doesn't mean you're not valuable, and that doesn't mean you're not worthy. Your wins and your celebrations come in different ways. Your wins and your celebrations look like you potty trained the dog and the toddler at the same time. That was me. That was me. I'm just using myself as an example again, but I potty trained our puppy and Lily at the same time in the middle of winter with 2.5, 3 feet of snow. And that's a big fucking win. And I'm proud of myself, but I'm not going to get a raise for it. Nobody's going to give me a huge pat on the back, but that's a win and that's okay. And I should be proud of that and not take it lightly because it's a huge accomplishment. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do that. And I did it. I was able to work through that and get super frustrated and process it and work through it because it was up to me to do it. But if I was comparing myself to a professional dog trainer who's also a mother on Instagram, I would feel like I wasn't doing it right. Like I wasn't doing it perfectly. Like I wasn't doing enough. All of those feelings of inadequacy would be coming up. But instead, I was able to just say, this is what I'm capable of. This is what I'm able to do. And we're going to stay consistent with it. And that's okay. So this week, as you go through the week and you're using social media, please check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay. Realize what you're putting into your mind, what you're putting into your body and your heart space, and understand that what you're doing is good. What you're doing is amazing. And your children don't need you to be anybody else but you. Your family needs you. I need you. Your community needs you. And this world, this planet, this universe, we need you as an individual because there's only one you. There was only one you created to be the mother to the children that you have. There was only one you to accomplish the things that you're going to accomplish in your way, nobody else's way. So stop the comparison, start connecting. Connect with somebody this week. I challenge you to use social media to connect, stop using it to compare. Write down your thoughts, write down your feelings, write down your emotions. If you're starting to feel inadequate, stop scrolling. Just don't do it. Okay. If you're starting to compare yourself to those that are experts in their fields, I need you to understand they're doing that. It's called marketing. Okay. They're doing that to showcase an idea. Okay. Even in Mom in Process, even in this community, we are showcasing strong, independent individual women, and we want to encourage that individual growth. But that doesn't mean, and we are really, really, really transparent. I try and be super transparent. That doesn't mean that all of those women are perfect. That doesn't mean all of those women, all of those moms don't have hard days, don't have struggle days. Okay. We all have those tough days as stay-at-home moms. And I want you to understand that. And I want you to remember that. And I don't want you to be me. I don't want you to be the person that you follow on Instagram. I don't need you to be the fitness model that you follow on Instagram, or the nutritionist, or the homesteader, or whatever other title there is out there, the author, the podcaster, the fill in the blank with whatever it is you're scrolling past, and release that. Okay. Understand that you are you, and I need you to be you. Your children need you to be you, and this community needs you to be you. So go forth into the week, my friend, managing and understanding where your scrolling is coming from. Connect with somebody. I encourage you to connect with somebody when you hop on to scroll. Make it a challenge. Every time I get on social media, I'm going to connect with somebody. I'm not just going to scroll to compare. I'm going to connect with one person every time I get on. And it takes effort. And when you have to put in that effort, a lot of the times as that challenge, a lot of the times you're like, I don't really want to connect with somebody today. So don't get on. Okay. Don't get on social media. If you're just doing it for the entertainment value and the comparison aspect of it, don't get on. Okay. Take it off your phone for the day. Just try and keep yourself at a healthy level, and don't compare yourself to the thousands, hundreds and thousands of people that are out there. Compare yourself to yourself. How can you do better for yourself, for your family, and as an individual? Not because somebody else is doing it, but because maybe you're wanting to level up your own life for yourself. So go into your week. I hope this gives you some encouragement. Thank you so much for listening today, sweet mama. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon.